All right, thank you so much, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Good afternoon.
All right. Okay, so good afternoon once again. My name is Omolola, and today I'm a Power Platform developer, and today we'll be looking at starting with Powerapps component. And all right, so here is a little about me. My hobbies are books, friends, football, and music. So you can find me on LinkedIn as Omolola Alfred, and if you're a magician, because Twitter is banned, but if you are a magician, like I said, you can find me there as Alfred Adeshola. So straight, because we really do not have time and we have a lot that we want to do today. So quickly, I'll just introduce to you what we have today. First, we'll be looking at introduction.
Sorry to cut. Sorry to cut in. I'm very sorry. So are you moving your slide?
No, not yet.
Okay. Oh, all right. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm.
Yes. All right. Okay, so yes, so this is, like I said, little about me. My hobbies, books, friends, football, and music. I already said all of this, so let's just quickly go to what we have today. So the agenda for today is to introduce us to Powerapps component and to ensure that the next time we are building an application using Powerapps, especially Canvas apps, we start from component. And also, I would like to say that this particular training is not a beginner training, so it's an intermediate level. So we won't really be dwelling much on Microsoft Power Platform introduction. We'll just move straight to, so this is basically Microsoft Power Platform, but like I said, is an intermediate level training. So we'll just be going straight to what we have majorly for today, which is components. So, but before component, I would just like to just talk a little bit about Canvas apps. So, under Microsoft Power Platform, we have four different components. That's we have the Powerapps, we have Powerapps, we have Power Automate, we have Power BI, we have Power Virtual Agent. So under Power Application, under the Power Apps is divided into three. So we have the model driven, we have the Canvas apps, we have Portal. So today we'll be looking at the Canvas application. Then under the Canvas application, we'll be looking at building Power Apps components. So the three things I've highlighted here about Canvas app is, of course, it helps you optimize your time because it's really time efficient. You can really conserve your time instead of building from scratch. Okay, so now I'm really excited today to really be talking to us about component because I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things about components, why they are scared to when they are building application, why they are scared to start from components. So first, what is component? Components are reusable building blocks for Canvas apps. Components are useful. So I want to quickly paint the picture. So for instance, let's say you have about 37 pages of application. You have an application that has like 37 screens, and all of a sudden your manager comes and says, oh, Lola, we have to change, let's say the company's logo has changed and we need to quickly change the company's logo. So something like that, you have a 37 pages application. If you have to change the logo for each of it, you have to go to each screen and change the logo manually. But then if you have a component, all you just need to do is to go to your components, you change the logo on just one component, and immediately it reflects on all of the 37 screens immediately. You don't need to go to one screen and change, one screen and change, one screen and change. And also we'll be looking at the two approaches that you can take to build a component. We're looking at building a component from inside an application. We'll be looking at building a component from a component library. Then lastly, which is like a plus, we'll be looking at two things that people have really complained about components. A lot of people say, okay, so I want to start component, but there's this complex feature about component that I really do not understand, which is the input and the output. So I hope that today on our demo, I'll be able to quickly show us how to do all of this. Please give me a minute while I share. Give me 1 minute. Thank you. All right. Okay, so sorry, Smart, please can you see this screen of Powerapps?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
All right. So here we have, this is basically an application that I built down already for us, but we'll be building one from scratch. I'll show you how you can build a component using the two approaches that I talked about. I'll be looking at inputs function of the Powerapps component. So now we can just see, I've just built together just a very simple component. So the first approach I'll be looking at today is the first approach we'll be looking at today is building an application straight from your building a component straight from your app. So let's say you want to start building an application using Canvas app. If you come straight to new here, you go to, I want to use tablet layout rather. All right, so once it opens, all right, good. So in here you can see screens. Where my mouse is, you can see screens and you can see components. So when you're building an application using Canvas app, you start straight from screens, and here it allows you to pick in between screens, and you can add as many screens as possible. So it is inside of these screens that you can build your application. So basically when you hear Canvas, it's just like I'm handing you like a plain sheet, and I'm saying paint whatever you want to paint, build whatever you want to build, draw whatever you want to draw in this blank space. All right, so now since we are looking at starting with components, instead of you to just start building your application immediately, inside your application, right, you go straight to components and you look at new components. You select it, wait for a while. Yes, we can see your component here. But if you go back to your screen, you will notice that this blank page here and this, the size is different. So whatever you build here, it will come out using the same size. So you come here and we copy the width of this because they will be building an header. So we copy the width. We come to our component. You go to the width of your component and you paste that there. If you leave here, you notice that the size has changed. So now you can start building whatever you want to build. It's going to have the same size of your application. So quickly, I'm going to add a label. I will start building a component. So a basic component as a basic application as components, and the component has a lot of things in it. So quickly I'll be adding color to this. So let's see the feel of this. Well, my best color is actually burgundy, so this is the closest to that I can get. So we have this, then the text of this. So we centralize this. Then I'm going to bring in another label into this. I'm just trying to put the header together. So when the user comes into my application, I want the name of the user to show. So what I do is I do user.full name here. All right. Okay, so we can see that this label that we had before, let me go to my preview so you can see. So another very good thing is, as you are building, it's very good for you to quickly change the names. So we are going to name this as the header itself. I'm going to name this as the header. Header. I will make this, let's say, username. Right? Okay, so another thing I want to do to this, I want to put a picture. So I'm going to put a small picture by this side. So let's say that picture is my picture. So I'm going to come to media and say upload. And I'm just going to put this picture here. So all I'm doing now is I'm just trying to set up my header, and I'm doing everything inside my component. Okay. Oh, there's my fine picture. Where are you? All right. So I come here, I choose image. So I bring that over here, and yes, you can see my I'm tempted to say my fine face. Okay. All right. Okay, sit down. All right. Then what else should we add to this beautiful header? Okay, so let's add a logo. We're going to add a logo to the header. For now, let's choose Powerapps logo. So we add Powerapps logo to it. So I know you cannot see this now. You cannot see the logo I just added. You click on it and the logo comes up. So you do this and do this. So okay. So I just adjust it so that it fits into the size of my header. And all right. So this is nope. Okay, like I said, it's very good that you name all of these things as they come into. All right, so now this is as good as we get for the header. So now I'm going to, before I show you how I'm going to apply this into the screen, I'm going to now I'm going to show you the complex part. If you remember when I was explaining that there are some complex, will I say, features to components, which is the output and the input. So the output would be our assignment. It's something that I want you to try on your own. Then the input will be what we'll look at. The output is really simple. The input will be what we'll look at today. And So if I come here, if you come to this side of the component, so this is it. So these are all the things that I've added together to make my component. So if I click on this component now, I will see on this side, you will see custom properties, and you just click new property. So this is me, I'm trying to do the input now. So quickly, let's just name this. Let's name it header text. So what do I mean by input? I'm going to do something that will allow me to put in something, input something inside of my components. I don't want to use the word input. I want to say I'm going to use something that will allow me to put in something into my, let's call this header text, into my header. So like this text here, I don't want it to be text. I want to be able to put something into that. What's the description? Feature. So now if you look here, you have, these are the two property types of component. This is input and this is output. So like I said, input, why? Because we want to be able to write something inside. So we have different data type. So what we want to write inside, is it going to be like a form of yes or no, that's Boolean? Is it going to be a number? Is it going to be date and time, or what? But what I want to put inside is a text. So it's going to be data type of type text, and we'll create. So now we have created header text, right? We have header text. If you come to your component, you can see your header text here. It was not there before. So if I come straight to my screen, the screen has its own features. It has all the things that you can add onto it. So let's bring in our components. So this is what you do. You click on the screen that you want to add your components into. You go to insert. See, this is homes. You go to insert here. You come to custom and you pick your components. This is the component. And immediately we put that in, we can see the component that we built together. Yes, I'm going to say we, because we are doing it together. So we can see this component, but then there's something I want you to look at. You will notice that this component that we have here is coming with all these excesses, and I don't want that. All right, I don't want that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete it from here. I'll come back to component here quickly. I'll come back to component here and make this height. I'll make it the exact height of my header here. So what is the height of my header? Okay, let's just check. Yeah. Hi, height, where are you? Okay. So height here we have the height. That's the height of my header. The height of my header is 78. So I just go to my component and I'll make the height of my component 78 and say that is 640. Yeah. So immediately that takes effect, you can see that all the excesses has gone away. So I'll go back to my screen and bring in my component. Like I said before, you go to insert and you go to custom component and you have it here. So now you cannot see the excesses again, you see just your component. So remember the input feature that we just did? This, I'm going to show you how we are going to make our input feature. Okay, so if we go to our header here, the header has a text feature. So this text property, yeah, that is what is showing. But we already did. All right. I don't know if your mic is on. Please, can you mute it?
So sorry, I'm trying to unmute the person. Sorry to miss the person.
Okay, so I'll just go on. All right, so we have text here. This text here is what is showing here, but we already did an impute feature here. So this is what we do. Text here, and I put the name. I'm looking for the name of the component it's meant to show. Yeah, the name of the component that you've done. You can name it anything, but the name of my component currently is component 1, and you can see the header text. That's the impute feature that we did. Once you pick that, all right. So, all right. So we can see now that for this header under this component, I'm saying under my component. For this header under this component, we can see I've said that okay, the text should be the impute feature that I have done. So if you come back to our screen here, yeah, and under the component that you've added to your screen, if you come here, you will see your header text. Good. So under your header text, I can say Lola is a girl. So all right, so we can see Lola is a girl here. Let me increase it so that let me increase the font so that we can see that very well. Okay, so let's make that 20. If we go back to the screen, so now you can see that formerly, yeah, it was at 13 and it's so small. So now I just increased this to 20. If you go back to screen, it's going to be big. So I know you cannot see the beauty of what I'm doing until we have multiple screens. So here, let's just quickly insert, we do another custom, and we have it here, right? So the beauty of Impute Field is it allows you to be able to put whatever it is that you want. If you come here, you will notice that every other thing is the same, right? Every other thing is the same on this screen except this text. Why? Because it's an Impute Field. It allows you to be able to put whatever you want. So if the header for the first one is Lola is a girl, actually, let's make it something reasonable. Let's say that this first one is screen 1. This one should be screen 2. Okay, so perhaps can be slow at times. So the header text here is screen 2. Screen 2. So if we come to screen 1, we can see screen 1. We go to screen 2. All right. Apologies. So screen 1, we see screen 1. What's wrong with our screen 2? All right. So this is screen 1. You can see screen 1 here. Screen 2. You can see screen 2 here. So another thing we are going to quickly do now is our time is fast spent. So now this is one approach to building components in Powerapps, right? I talked about the second approach. So I'll just go and save this and I'll show you the second approach. Webinar, okay, I already have webinar component. Let's just say webinar 2 and we save this, yeah. So, all right. I'm going to come here and I want to open another Powerapps and show you. Sorry. Okay. So while that is so if you come here so now I want to show you the second option the second approach how you can build your Powerapps components is through component libraries. Now let's go back here, right? You see this, if you go through this approach that we've used, you cannot share this particular component with any other person, and you can also use this component on any other application. So if you have 37 pages of application here, right, you can use this same component over all these pages. I'm talking about screens now. So if I have 50 screens here, all I just need to do is come here, do insert, go to custom, and insert this, right? It comes here. The input feature, I do that, everything is fine, everybody's happy. But that is all I can do. I cannot, there's another thing, that's if you use the second approach. If you use this approach that I'm going to show you, you build your components, but you're building it just like as if you're building an application. So under component library, yeah, you build your component. You can use it if tomorrow I want to build any other application. All I just need to do is to export this particular component that I've built into my application. Let's just go right into it so that because of our time. So what you do, instead of going to application and you're saying new app and you're building an application and you're building a component inside the application, what you do now is instead of going to app, you can see all these that I've done, they're under apps. Yeah, here this is component libraries. So yes, you come under component library and you do new component. Let's name your component what can we name your component? So let's name global component. So another name I use for my component library is global. Why? Because not only can I use it across my screens in my application, I can also use it across applications. Not only can I even use it across application, I can just say that so one of my teammates, her name is Victoria. So let's say Victoria wants to build an application. I can say, oh, Victoria, I have a component already made. Do you want me to share with you? So I can share with her and she can just move from there. But you can't do that to the first approach that we did. Okay, so the same thing, but for this one, I'm just going to be making, so this is still component, yeah? And it has screens. But this screen that it has is it's just for you to test your components that you've made. So for this component, let's just quickly do, let's do icon. There's one smiley, beautiful icon that we have. Should we use that? No, let's use, okay, yeah, let's use it, okay. So smile. So I'll be using this and I'll be making it as big as possible. So now I just want to use this as the body of her. See how beautiful it is. So let's make this a lighter shade of my this looks very ugly. Okay. Let's change this to black. All right, so we have this already. Let's just name this. Okay, let's leave it as it is, and I'm going to save. I'm going to save this now. And that I named you Webinar Global. Okay. Webinar global. Right. So we save this. Okay, so this is 3:40. We still have some minutes. So let's just quickly do the impute feature again. Yeah. So I'm going to insert a label. Come on. Okay. So this is the label here. And remember what we said about impute. We go here, we click on the components, go to the custom properties, new custom property. Meet how can I name it? Smiley texts. Of Lola Smiley. And property again, should I pick output? No, because I'm not, it's for impute. I want to be able to impute something inside. Data text, data type is text, create. All right, so let me just quickly, what color did we use all the time? Okay, we're extending this and we want to make it center. Yeah, so we come here, no, so we come to this and we can see okay, all right, so we come here and where's the label, and we see the text. We do the same thing that we did the other time. We say component, the name of this component is component 1. So I just go ahead and type components. It should bring out name. Okay, yeah. And I say component dot what? Component dot the name of the input text that I've done, the input feature that I've done, smiley text. Okay, Powerapps isn't responding. What have I done to you? Okay, yes. All right, so now it is component.smiley text. So whatever, now I can change my text. Instead of just having text here, I can come to my component now. You will now see smiley text here. So before you won't see smiley text, but because I've created an input feature, so you can see smiley text here. And I can change the smiley. So I don't need to change the smiley text from the component. I leave it as text, yeah. When I get to where I want to apply it, that is when I'll now change it. I want to change it to whatever it is I want to change it to. So let's just go ahead and save this. Then you will see how Webinar Global save. So you see how I'm going to call this into that the application that we have already. Now when you're done saving, you should publish. You need to publish so that it would you'll be able to see it. All right. So now this is all I just have to do. I'm done creating the Powerapps component inside Powerapps libraries, which is the second approach that we talked about. So here we have so if I come to component here, yeah, you will not see that component that you just did. The only component you will see here is this header that I've created. So the way you'll be able to import that into your app is you come to this plus here. You can see this is plus for insert. You click it and you go to get more components. When you get to get more components, we can see webinar global. Webinar global, select. All right. So you click on import. Now, immediately you've imported it, you can now see library components in here. If you click the library component, you see component 1_4. If I click on this, okay. All right. Okay, so you go back to your screen, okay? Let's go back to this again. You see, now something I want to, if you notice that when I was trying to click this, it was not clicking because I was where? Because under here I was under components. So if I'm under components and I'm trying to, if I go here and I'm trying to click this, it will not click because you're meant to bring it not into your component directly. You're meant to bring it inside of your app, the application that's inside of your screen. So you go back to the tree, go to your screen, and you go back to insert. Look at the component library. Under component library, voila. All right, so we have this here. Now, another thing I want to be able to do is not just about bringing it into my application. I want to be able to edit it. So it says create a copy. Now we have this original copy inside your component library. You create a copy and the copy will be inside your what? It will be inside this component here that you can see. So you're bringing it not just directly into your screens, you can also store it inside your component. And why is that? Once you store it inside your component, whatever you do here to affect the whole of your screens, we are still going to look at that. So you create a copy inside of that. Okay, so I come to the screen here and I don't want it here anymore. I want to delete it. Okay, so I come here to my component and I just now that it's inside here, I can now treat it the way I was treating that other one, this first one, component 1. The same thing applies. So I come here and I say where's smiley text? Smiley text, I want this smiley text. Okay, there's not even need for me to change it from here. So I come here now. In all of these screens, we still have just one component. We have one component on all of these screens. That's our header component, okay? So now we want to bring in the second component that we've done. You do the same thing. You go to insert. All right. You go to, if it was anywhere before, you come to insert, you go to custom and you pick it, custom components. You can see it here, yeah? Okay, that's not all. Under this component, we look for a smiley text. So for this screen 1, I want it to be, I want to say, hello, my name. All right, I am Lola. Hello, I'm Lola. Hello, I'm Lola. Why have you not changed? Hello. Okay. So it's just, it lags a little. Powerapps can be slow. I mentioned it the other time. Okay, so now we can see hello, I'm Lola here, yeah? You go to our second screen. What do? You just, okay, I have like 11 minutes trying to be time conscious. So we go into the second screen, you click on the second screen 2, and you go to insert, custom, bring this in again. So under here, go to smiley text, we say I am a software developer. So am I typing? Okay. I'm a software developer, all right? We're not waiting for that this time. It's going to just do. Then for this one, we come here and we insert it again. Uh-oh, what's that? Oh, all right, it's waiting. We are just going to wait. Oh, well, good. So we have it in here, and we just say, nice to meet you all. Meet you all. So if you go to the first one, we have, hello, I'm Lola. I'm a software developer. Come on. Okay. Smiling. So to meet you all. All right. Okay. So if it doesn't want to do, I'm just going to ignore it and just go. Okay. Let's just leave that for now. Hello, I'm Lola. I'm a software developer. It has refused to do nice to meet you. Let's try again. Perfect. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. So now here is it. You have the very first one, which is the first component, and you have the second component, and you think you're done, and all of a sudden this is just, we have just 3 screens here. So all of a sudden you get to work, and let's just quickly paint the picture. Your manager just comes and says, I don't want or no, okay, let's say your manager is very nice, says, all right, Lola, we've changed our company logo, and it's no more this Powerapps logo here. We now have a new logo, and we want you to change it across all your screens. You have, let's even imagine that you have 20 apps. Now, I'm not just talking about screens now, I'm saying 20 different applications, and you are using what you're using. You have to change the logo across all of those applications. Here's just what you do. So if you are somebody that knows how to use company, you just say, all right, ma, I'll get that done right away. Give me maybe an hour or 30 minutes. And what do? You just come here into your components. Which one are you adjusting? The first one. You look at this one and you say, okay, image, delete, yeah? So once you come here and you delete it, if you go back to your screen, you notice that it's no more there. Screen 1, it has gone. Screen 2, it has gone. Screen 3, it has gone. Come back to your component and add the same way we did that. Now we want to, let's say we have, where are you? Okay. Alright, so it's already here. So I don't need this power logo again, because my manager said we have changed our logo, we have upgraded. So you can see a beautiful Ha-Shem logo in here. All right, and you're about to go, and she says, no, that's not all. Thank you. We see that you've changed the logo across all 75 applications that we have. We want you to change the color of the header across all of the application. Okay, ma'am, no problem. I'll do that right away. You just come to the header, you go to the color. It says, okay, so our color is now blue. This blue, I cannot really see this very well. Let me pick a blue that will show my fine logo. Yeah. No, I want it to be okay. So yes, we now have blue, right? Remember that before the before now, the color we had was what was burgundy wine. So if I go to my screen, you can see that it has changed across all of the screens. And this is why you should, whenever you want to whenever you want to build an application using Canvas, please don't don't just start building your application, start using component. This is screen 1, you can see it has changed. Screen 2, it has changed. Screen 3, it has changed. But this is actually ugly. She comes and says, this logo is quite beautiful, you've done all of this, but can't you see that these colors don't match? Can we do something about it? Yes, ma'am, we can do something about it. You go back to your component, and now we are no more looking at this first component. We don't have business with this anymore. We come to this component. Okay, what can I do to you? First, I want to change your color. Let's use, I'm not much of a color person, but so let's just come and use this color. Yeah, so now you notice that it is only this one that has changed. I come to my components and I want to change the whole color, so I'm using the same color for the two, right? And this one has also changed. So if she says, Lola, are you done? Are you done? We're about to showcase all our applications. Yes, ma, I'm done. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So and okay, so screen 1, it is there. Screen 2, it is there. Screen 3, it is there. So now, screen 1, I have screen 1 here. I have hello, I'm Lola. Screen 2, I'm a software developer. Screen 3, nice to meet you. Also quickly here. Now screen 3, let's just remind me. Sometimes I can try to be a perfectionist. I'm not really one, but just once. Okay, so let's make this screen 3. Screen number 3. And we are done. Okay, screen 1, screen 2, screen 3. Nice to meet you all. Oh, my screen 3 has not appeared. Screen 1, screen 2, screen 3. Remember, this is what we've been going through since. Okay. Screen number 3. It's a bit slow, so allow that to load, and that is the end of starting with Powerapps component. So just go back to what we've done. We looked at 2 approaches to building components. We looked at building with component library. We looked at building inside your application. We looked at impute feature of custom properties, and yes, so we looked at impute features of custom properties. So I hope I've been able to show you why you should start with Powerapps component. All right. Okay, so that all from here. Okay, I can see some colors here. Sorry, that's the colors. I can see some questions. Will any changes be made to the important?
Would you want me to read it for you?
Yes, please do. Thank you, Smart.
Okay, the first question says, will any changes made to the imported component affect the original component? That's the question from Oluwatobi or Yusuf.
All right, Toby Yusuf. No, so that's the essence of important. So when you've already built your component, that component is there. For instance, if I build my component now and I share it with you, yeah, you will have that component. But at the point where you are importing the component into your application, you saw a pop-up that came and said, create a copy. So you are creating a copy of that particular what's it called now, component inside of your application. So it is that copy that you are editing. So whatever edits you make is not affecting the original one inside your component library.
Okay, thank you so much for that. The second question, I think it has been answered by one of our boss here again, Mr. today. The question was that, can I change the color for the header of a particular screen without changing the color for other screens? So Mr. Ayatollah said yes, he can do that. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, but I'll just like to add that. So when I started, I told us that there are two properties. You know how we were, for the impute property, we were just changing what's it called now? We're just changing the text of each of those screens. So I want you to also now look at that's input that we've done. I said I'm going to give us an assignment for us to go and look at output because we could not cover all of that because of our time. So yes, you can actually do that using the output property. So at the point where you just go and you create it the same way we've created the impute property, and you see whatever name that you have named it, you can see it on your component. And once you've done that, it will bring out the color. For instance, if you name a color, you see color in your properties list. Then that color you can pick. I want this particular header to be yellow. I want this particular header to be burgundy.
All right, thank you so very much. So that's were the two questions we got in the chat box. And now it's the time for everyone to also ask questions. If you have any questions right now, of course, you can share your question. If you have any question, please you can share your question. And while we are waiting for just a minute, you can either raise up your hand or use the question, the chat box, of course, to drop your question. We'll just wait for about a minute because our time is fast spent. Meanwhile, let me thank Omolola, thank you so very much. Omolola, thank you so much for that session. Thank you so much. And in fact, Oluwatobi Yusuf is also saying here that it is a very, very insightful session. He said it's very, really insightful. So thank you also for bringing the fun personality to your presentation. I had a good laughter. Thank you so very much. So we are just waiting for questions. So. All right, you can see, and it seems as if there are no questions again. So quickly, I will just say that, of course, Power Apps, you've had it from Madam Omolola. She has shared with us. She has shared that with us, and of course, I believe you have a fair knowledge or very good knowledge of Power Apps component right now. So, what if you need to start using those things? What if you want to even start from the scratch? You want to know more about Power Apps? You want to have a discovery session with us so that we can explain to you the whole Power Platform and what the Power Apps, what it adds to the Power Platform. Of course, you can always reach out to us at sales@ha-Shem.com. We will explain to you. We'll have a discovery session with you. We'll let you know what the whole Power Platform is about, the applications that are under Power Platform, which include Power Apps, and then we can also help you to understand what Power Apps is exactly, and if it is a solution that you want to have in your organization, so you can start building applications without any code knowledge, without, or maybe if it's just low code knowledge. Of course, you can also reach out to us at sales@ha-Shem.com. Any inquiries at all, reach out to us at sales@ha-Shem.com. Don't forget to fill the evaluation form. I believe Michael has sent it to the chat box. So kindly go to the chat box now. Please kindly fill the evaluation form. Please fill the evaluation form. Let us know what you think about the session. Let us know about what you want us to do in the upcoming sessions. Of course, please follow us on all social media platforms. It is very important. Please, you need to follow us so that you can get a lot. You get the notification when we give any updates. Or maybe when we have a session like this coming up, you'll be the first to know about it. Of course, the webinar replay will be available on our YouTube channel. Please ensure you subscribe to that channel so that you'll be the first to also get the notification when we release the this session, the replay of this session. So please enjoy, have a wonderful day. But don't forget, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be having another session like this. And of course, don't forget, we're also having Tech Security Tuesday. Please be a part of all these webinar sessions. This is where you will gain insights to a lot of information, to a lot of technologies, information about technologies that are revolutionizing the world of work today. Thank you so very much. Please enjoy the rest of the day.